Welcome to the Wise Wolf Project. I'm your host, Wise Wolf. It is Wednesday, November 24th, Thanksgiving Eve, 2010, uh, almost 2:30 in the afternoon. And I wanted to talk to you about predicting the future. Now, this came about because of Freedom for You and Me's latest video about the TSA, and I just want to expound on that a bit. Now, I'm not a prophet, not a fortune teller. I'm not, uh, witch doctor, whatever, what have you. Um, but I do see trends, and one thing, uh, as to be able to predict the future, you have to notice trends. A lot of times they're subtle, and because you're getting blasted on a daily basis with 24-hour news sound bites, you miss certain things that happen in the background. Well, to Freedom for You and Me's point in his video about TSA, we missed the point, and I thought he did an excellent job at averting our attention to what was most important, and that was of the potential, high potential for us having national ID cards. Now, if you are unaware of what the national ID card is, it will be similar looking, my guess is to possibly a your current driver's license, but it's going to be so much more than that. It's going to be to the extent where the government, everything on that card is known about you, your medical history, what you ate last week, um, so much, your fingerprint, probably your retinal scan, everything, and essentially what it's going to be used for is it's really a control game, and if you don't have it, you won't be able to buy food, you do business, anything like that. Very similar to what is explained in the book of Revelations, chapter 13, 16 through 17. Um, it calls in the Bible, it calls it the mark of the beast. But so it is very significant, this card, and what it will entail and what it will be able to do and what it will allow the government to do. So we have to be vigilant in understanding what this is. Now, they've been trying to pass this for years. It's been under the radar, so to speak, but they've been trying to get that done for years. Now, Freedom for You and Me's point was that the people were up in arms about the body scanners, the enhanced interrogation, well, not interrogation, but pat downs. I've heard some places referred to as scope and grope. And it is pretty an undignified way just to travel. And I gotta say, even on my visits to some of my relatives in who are incarcerated, uh, getting into the prison walls is not even as strenuous and rigorous as the TSA is doing just for simple air travel. So by that logic, it's almost as if we are the prisoners now. We are the terrorists. Even a prison doesn't is not as bad as going through the security of TSA. And mind you, this is government, I guess, government entity, so to speak, or government sponsored entity, and your tax dollars are going for this sort of thing. So it's really messed up. Now, his point was that they're going to use this because people are so outraged with what's been happening with the TSA, that what they're going to do is present an option, a solution, which really isn't a solution, to say, hey, We know you don't like the body scans. We know you don't like being groped and fondled in public just to um, uh, go through airport to get to someplace, your other destination. You don't want to have to go through that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to offer you a national ID card. And that would allow you to bypass. Those of you who live in cities that have, or in areas where there are toll roads, you know that if you have this certain device, you can go through the expressway and you don't have to stand in line and pay. So for a convenience factor is where they're putting it. But this national ID card is so much more. So they give you this bad thing and then tell you that, okay, here's the solution, the national ID card, and then you'll be able to go forth. Brothers and sisters, please do not be fooled by this. The national ID card is not good. Not good. Not good. The government should not be in your business, what you're doing. They have no business doing that. Unfortunately, we've allowed them to usurp this power, and we're going to have to start taking it back, quite frankly. Now, the reason that we have these more enhanced pat downs and body scanners is because of the some of the things that have happened, but most memorably is the underwear bomber. Now, uh, it's baloney, because number one, the underwear bomber was not a lapse in U.S. security. It wasn't. He boarded a plane overseas. He did not have a passport overseas. On top of that, that's not U.S. problem. Now we should enforce something that if you're going to bring people over from a foreign airline from a foreign country, that simple basic measures of security are met. That's simple. We don't need to be groped for them to say, hey, could you please make sure they have some sort of verifiable identification. That's easy. Number two, his father called our embassy and said, hey, my son is a bit unstable. He's up to something. I don't know what, but it's very serious. Check it out. Now, what happened there? A simple phone call would have sufficed to say, hey, I got a call from this boy's father. He says he's unstable, blah, blah, blah. A simple phone call. Yet we have to spend millions upon millions of dollars and minutes to hours of humiliation going through the airport security, when a simple phone call, which, I don't know how much phone calls cost nowadays, long distance phone calls, but my God, it's got to be less than the cost of one of these scanners. It's got to be less than the humiliation you get from having urine spilled on you from one of these pat downs. Just ridiculous. So this TSA is just a tool for actually implementing this national ID card, and it reminds me of a husband who doesn't want to do the laundry, but his wife, he has a honey-do list. He has to do the laundry, and he makes it so that he screws up the laundry royally. I mean, you have white clothes coming back pink. Clothes have shrunk in size to where toddlers can only wear them now. I mean, very bad. And he does such a poor job that the wife says, you know what, you aren't ever to touch the laundry. If clothes need to be washed, I'll do it. Well, he puts on this front like, okay, he's sorry he messed up, but that was his purpose in the first place. It had nothing to do with him being sorry for what he done. He did it purposefully. He didn't want to do it. And likewise, they give us these options of body scanners and enhanced pat downs, gropings in certain cases, to make it seem